All right, guys, we are back and it's time for African Spotlight. Yes. So every week we focus on a good news story from the diaspora or from the community and someone doing amazing things in the community. And this week we're shining our spotlight on Tinashe Inyamduka. Judging from what happened earlier, and I'm sure I butchered that word as well, this is from Zimbabwe. And Takura Makadanze, the Zimbabweans who have put their country on the map in the world of wine. Yes. So let's talk. So after rising to the top of a white-dominated industry, a new generation of Zimbabweans are bringing their talents home. Like many young Zimbabweans before and since, Tinashe Inyamduka left the economic problems of his country to find work and a better life for himself in the neighboring South Africa. When he left in 2008, Inyamduka had never tasted wine. Now he ranks among Southern Africa's top sommeliers and has his own wine label with international sales. What?
Nice.
We've got a lot going against us as Zimbabweans, and you might think there's nothing good coming out of our country, says the 36-year-old. So for me to be recognized as one of the top sommeliers in the world, being African and Zimbabwean instills a sense of hope and pride. Inyamduka began his career as a waiter in Cape Town, where he learned about the different varieties and tastes of the wine his customers drank. He moved on to become a hotel wine waiter, working alongside some of the city's leading sommeliers. After studying his trade, he won the Best Wine Steward Award in a competition for luxury hotels in the Western Cape in 2013. And his talents received international attention when in 2017, he and 3 other Zimbabweans sommeliers were selected to take part in the World Blind Tasting Championship in France. Have you ever seen that?
No.
The Blind Tasting Championship. We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
So the team was the first from Zimbabwe to take part in the contest, in which competitors have to use just their palate to identify the variety of grape, country of origin, appellation, vintage, and producer of the wine.
Nice.
The Zimbabweans did not win, coming 23rd out of 24, but their story made the subject of a documentary released last year called Blind Ambition. So, Inyamduka says he brought with him a sense of pride, and the team returned it to the competition the next year, and this time they came 14th, beating out the UK and the US teams.
Awesome.
His wine label, Kumusha, means home or roots in Zimbabwe's Shona language. And he's benefited from celebrity by producing 200,000 bottles a year, up from 1,200 when he first launched 4 years ago. People have started embracing it, he says. I conceptualized the label around 2014 when xenophobia was hitting home in South Africa and we're all missing Kumusha, home. The 8 Kumusha wines, 3 reds and 4 whites and a rosé, are all produced in South Africa. They're sold in the US, the Netherlands, Kenya, and Zimbabwe. And he calls it my exciting market. And this month, he plans to start exporting his wines to the UK. I started this brand from scratch with no aid or financial handouts. It has been pure grit, passion, and dedication. And I just want people to understand that you can make it without prejudice. But Inyamduka says he encountered racism on his way to the top of a white-dominated industry. There are instances where you go to a tasting and it's all white people and you kind of feel out of place. And at work, you cannot get the position you want because you're black. It comes in different forms. It's not obvious. It's just more subtle. Inyamduka, who sits on the board of the recently established Sommeliers Association of Zimbabwe, love it, hopes that his achievements will encourage other Zimbabweans to enter into the wine industry. There's been an emergence of black sommeliers in the world as the industry becomes more diverse, and we see the hospitality offering in Zimbabwe improving, and there'll be a need for sommeliers. Another fellow sommelier, really quickly, Takura Makadanze, agrees. Also from Harare, Zimbabwe, he's 38 and he trained in Australia, working his way up from hotel porter to restaurant owner, and now he's back in Zimbabwe. I came home because there are plenty of opportunities here. There's plenty of space in hospitality, and recently there's been more of an explosion in food and drink sector in Zimbabwe, especially specialty wines which are being made now. And he qualified for last month's Ubuntu Sommelier Trophy in South Africa, but had to withdraw because he caught COVID. All right, he says it's very unusual for Zimbabweans to do well in this field. We want to continue that trajectory. I think it's time we have more women sommeliers from Zimbabwe. So hopefully, I will train someone to get to the standard of competing.
Nice.
Isn't that amazing,
No, that is
Serena?
really
Marty, what do you think? That's great. That he's selling 200,000 bottles a
that's
year.
a lot.
And he started with 1,200 bottles.
Yeah.
That was 1,200.
Yeah, that's 1,000.
He would have thought 1,200. That's
I know.
amazing. And
No,
then
that's
it's just
good.
grown. And he had never tasted wine when he went to South Africa. It's a great story. Never tasted wine. Didn't know about
If I went
it.
for that competition, the wine would be finished.
Oh no, he's not like that. He's just like, you can't spit it out.
I will ask for more.
They put you in a room. It's very, very daunting. I've seen a documentary. Very daunting. It's a room with you and other sommeliers. You know, they don't tell you what's in it. Just plain. The glasses are plain. Just a little bit of wine in each glass. Plain, no labels, nothing. And you have to pick it up, smell it, taste it. You have to tell them what country, where, what part of the country, what year it was made, and what the name of the wine is just by tasting it. It is crazy. And it's very, very hard, very difficult. So the fact that they came almost last the first time, they went back and came 14th, amazing.
Yeah, that's really
amazing.
good.
And his business is booming, and he's gone back he's in South Africa. The other one's gone back to Zimbabwe. Amazing.
No,
I'm
that's
very
really
happy
good.
for them.
Nice.
Martin, what do you think?
Sounds pretty cool. I'm not much of a wine drinker myself.
Yeah, but just the grits of it all. Fantastic. Right. So the question is, what areas? Today's questions for this week are: what areas do you think are next for African inclusion? Okay, because some black sommeliers were not on the 10 years ago. And secondly, do you have any industry you think you would like to put a stamp on? So that are the questions for the week, guys.
Okay.
All right, you guys listening, if you're calling in, 07542 002891, 07542 002891, if you want to answer those questions. Number one, what areas do you think are next for African inclusion? We've just had the story of Tinashe, and in Zimbabwe, he's a top sommelier, and he has a wine business now, he's selling all over the world, and he says, the sky is the limit for hospitality in Zimbabwe, and for wine sommeliers, there's only room to grow. So where do you think is the next for African inclusion? And secondly, do you have any industry that you would like to put the stamp on yourself? It doesn't have to be wine, it could be anything else. If you want to share with us, we're right here. Kweku's here, I'm here, Serena's here, Martin's here. Well, Serena is kind of here. She has no voice this week. We'll answer for her. All right, so call and message your comments, opinions, suggestions on the Jambo Radio Facebook page. Put your comment there. On Kweku's Live, put your comment there. Or just call the studio if you want your voice to be heard. And now, to celebrate a great Zimbabwean, here is another great Zimbabwean with a song I love so much. Here is Ja Praza with Satsa Nemurio. Love it.